Good morning, YouTube. We're at San Luis County Regional Airport, and we'll fly to Santa Barbara this morning. I haven't really gotten my ducks lined up in a row, so I don't have all the information on hand that I need in order to program the flight and get us going, but it shouldn't take me but a minute to do that, so let's get started. Alright, so it looks like ATIS is going to be 132.65. I'll use ATIS to try to do an RNAV landing. So 132.65. We're about 61 nautical miles away, so we might not be able to hear from ATIS till we're into the air. Let's look at San Marcos. Waypoint is 114.9. As we mentioned yesterday, the airport is for Santa Barbara. I thought we were flying to Santa Barbara yesterday, but I was mistaken in that. But it's KSBA for Santa Barbara. So for now, I'll just have a direct to, and then once I'm able to check in, I'll go ahead and program the approach and landing. Actually, on this one, we'll add the actual waypoint name, San Marcos, RZS, looks like. So this is not the airport, this is just the waypoint that's nearby. After I get the aircraft started, we'll check magnetic north. And excuse me, I forgot to put my headset on. This helps me hear the aircraft. Clear weather this morning, no storms, no rain. Time frame in around noon. Now in real life, it isn't noon. They're probably, I don't know what time, maybe if it's still 8, around 8, 10 perhaps p.m. in real life. I'm not even sure what altitude I should climb at, so I'll just kind of eyeball things and go from there. Rotate.
Traffic.
Letting a taxi off. Autopilot, nav, and we'll do a vertical speed of 7. I'll probably climb to at least 4,000 or 5,000 feet. So let me see if there's another ATIS other than 132.65. No, that's the one. I just want to see what approach options we have. For RNAV, we only have one, it looks like. So I'll probably go ahead and program that and then hope that I can land at that. We do need to adjust for magnetic north. Once it levels out, I'll do it. So let me look at that procedure. No, let's look at the flight plan. I want to see what altitude I need to be at. 4,400 feet when I get to RNAV. So I'll probably just level out at 4,400 feet. And based on what I'm seeing, we don't have anything in our path anyway, so we'll just go up here, take a little left, and then land. Let's see where I was planning to go from Santa Barbara. Oxnard, and then from Oxnard to KCMA, wherever that is. think I'll just level off at 4,000 feet as opposed to 4,400 feet. Slowing the RPMs down to 2,500, and I'm going to adjust the mixture too. Just checking to see what the altimeter is set to. It looks like 2.9.8 something. So once ATIS does start reporting in, I'll know how far I need to adjust it. See, the COM1 audio is turned on, so we should be able to hear it. But according to this, we're just below 50 miles out, but I would think we would hear it by now.
Santa Barbara on information copy.
And there it is.
Wind calm, visibility 10. Sky conditions 3,000 view, temperature 6, 2.5. Altimeter 3009. Arriving runways 07, 15 right, 15 left. Departing runways 07.
Great. So we're programmed for runway 7, and that is an arrival runway we can use. So we're good to go there. It looks like we got a little extra power, so I'm going to back it down to 2,500 RPMs again. Excuse me. It's nice to have a little good weather for a change. Past couple of flights, it's been either really cloudy or dense fog or stormy weather. Lots of winds, making for a few challenging landings. Little clouds ahead, probably pass through. One thing I don't like about the track IR, I mean, it's nice to be able to turn my head and look, you know, if I want to look out the window, but I sort of miss my quick views as well, because I could just hit a key and start looking out the window and easily switch to the other side. So, but track IR is neat too, because I can look in just about any direction I want to. And of course, stick my head outside if I were so inclined. Probably look down at the gear. Or not. Maybe not at the gear. Maybe if I lower myself, I go. There it is. The belly of the plane. And then if I were doing the pedals, you could see me moving the pedals there. So that's, I guess, an advantage. I'll have to remember that, to duck down, and then we, upon landing or something, you know, potentially do something like that to get a view of how we're lined up with the runway. So if I move forward, you know, I can actually see the altimeter and adjust the knob a lot easier than just zooming in, and then all I've got to do when I'm done is just lean back and everything gets, you know, repositioned and situated right. And then if I need to see up over the nose of the aircraft, I can raise up in the seat a little bit. So it's kind of helpful to have track IR. Can't complain. some aircraft. I don't see if we can spot them. Is it above us or below us? Probably somewhere below the clouds and we can't see them. But I was trying to spot this guy. Clouds are getting a little more dense. Like we're right on top of these clouds. And those up ahead like we'll go or pass right through them. 11 more minutes. .6 nautical miles to our first fix. I don't really have to zoom in like this. I can pop that whole panel out. We can look at it, but a Foxy or a Foxy is our first fix. And then from there it should be a little bit of a left. Oh no, it goes right first and then left. Well, I was hoping for more clear skies than this. Can't see the ground, just the clouds. And while clouds are kind of cool to look at sometimes, there's a lot of redundancy there. It's all white and fewer variations of anything to look at. So our approach plate indicates 4,400 feet. We're just 400 shy of 4,400. That's not a problem because we'll still be approaching our initial airfix or our glide path essentially. We'll approach it from below the required altitude. Let me look at what the next one is. (2,800 feet at ECVA. So I may go ahead and start descending to 2,800 feet. I don't know if I need to or not, or if it will do it for me. Let me, once we reach that first fix, what was it? RNAV. Let's see if we start, I don't know if we'll start to descend, but in any case I'll watch, and if we don't, I'll descend to 2,800. With the G1000, you know, it gives me the magenta warning if I need to be at a certain altitude and I know I need to descend, but in other instances I don't always know. So I'm going to assume I need to. And we'll get to 2,800 feet and I'll do another altitude hold there. That's the other thing with the G1000. I can go ahead and turn the altitude knob and set a desired altitude, and then once I do my vertical descent, it will stop at whatever altitude I've selected. In this instance, I have to be more mindful of it and watch and make sure I hit the altitude hold button at the right altitude. With these clouds, I have no way of telling whether or not we have any dangerous hills or mountains in front of us, but it's 2800 on the approach plate, so we should be good. I'm going to go ahead and descend faster and slow the aircraft down a bit too, so we give ourselves a little bit more time before we hit the next waypoint, which is probably when it's going to try to do the approach. But if I'm too high, it may not be able to. So 3000, yeah, and see it's doing our approach now. So I am going to stop at 2800. And now I would like to see, let me give it some more RPMs, but I'm going to look at this again and just see 1800 feet. So I don't know if I should descend to that or if it will do it. Let's look at the map. Oh, my approach plate is gone. There it goes. It's back. So 1800. Let's do a vertical descent to 1800. And by now it should have already started doing the descent for me, but I messed up by being too high of an altitude, I believe. So 2000 to 1800, we'll do an altitude hold at 1800 feet. Alright, and hopefully the autopilot will do the rest. I'll go ahead and turn the landing and taxi lights on, and I'll probably leave the RPMs as they are and see how slow the aircraft. Okay, we are on the localizer. And I do not see the runway. That may be, there it is right there, I see it now. So I don't know if at this next fix or not it's going to start to descend, but if it doesn't, I'll manually carry us in. I'm looking forward to say GS. Oh no, I think it had it. I think it did it and I just messed it up. Alright. I messed it up. Flaps. Now I need to trim it. Since we got decent weather, the winds are good, I'm gonna do full flaps. Right now I'm trimming it to get it to nose down, and then also reducing the RPMs. We're well above the glide path. Because I messed up the autopilot approach. That's alright. We got good weather, decent weather I can see, so we don't really need to do an instrument approach, but if I couldn't see, we would want to do that. We would want to use that to our advantage. And what I could do is turn around and reapproach and let the autopilot do its thing, but I'm just going to drop us in here. Trying to get us back on the glide path, so I'm descending about 1,000 feet per minute right now. And we're almost there, so I'll give us some more power. And there's an aircraft on the runway in front of us there, but he should be taxied and out of the way by the time we land. Now I'm below the glide path. He's just sitting there on the runway. I hope he moves. I might have to go around. Yeah, he's about halfway up the runway now. I should be alright. Technically, he should not be on the runway when I land. But since I'm a small or light aircraft, I should be able to slow myself down. Quick enough to not, hit him or it become a problem. I probably, to fix what I had done wrong, I probably could have deselected the approach and then clicked it again. It would have reset, and I could have had the autopilot bring us in. Now, even though I didn't, we do still have this as guidance, so I kind of eyeball that to see whether or not I'm on the glide path or not, but you don't necessarily have to do it like that. You could wing it.
Traffic.
Bad thing about the track IR is it moves me around in my seat, and I'm like, well, am I online or not? It's harder to tell because I'm not necessarily staying 100% stock still as I'm landing. I'm doing the pedals and the yoke I'm not trying to make excuses. I'm just saying, for me, from my perspective, it just makes it a little bit more of a challenge to actually land on the line with Trek IR. To see how I'm bobbing around, and I'm just like, I just itched my nose, and then I moved, and I should be centered, you know, like right about there. So if I move a little bit, sometimes that could be a problem. I do center this before I start the video, but all right. Yeah, I think the last time I flew here, I parked right over here. I just did a 180 rotation in this little square area right here. So I'll do something similar again. Right now I'm giving it right brake and trying to get it to just rotate. It's a fairly gentle landing. I may have gotten it on the line, but it was a challenge. Nope, I was close, but not right on the line. In any case, it's a good landing. Just getting it on the line is a little bit of a plus for me. That's how I want to do it. I guess technically speaking, any landing that you can walk away from is a good landing. But a little bit above and beyond that is any landing in which you don't damage your landing gear or your aircraft is a good landing as well. Now, if I were at flight school or something and I had an instructor with me and he was, you know, grading me on my performance, I probably failed. I probably fail. I don't know. It'd be interesting to know for sure whether or not I pass or fail. Definitely not necessarily by the book. All right, you two. Thank you for flying with me, and I'll see you next time. Have a good day.